What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Epic Gamer, and in today's episode will be the series that I'm going to continue on with my YouTube channel, and that is giving 10-minute game reviews. This is episode 2 of me discussing some of the greatest and most fun games that I have played throughout all the years of me being a gamer, from new and old. So sit back and relax, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing Dying Light 2. So let's go ahead and discuss a little bit about the story briefly. Dying Light 2 is a story that follows Aiden, a pilgrim searching for his sister Mia. He goes into the city Villedor after the post-apocalyptic settlement 15 years after the events of the first game. So essentially, you're Aiden. He is a pilgrim, aka is a night runner, the hero of the game. And you are going to the city that has been surrounded by a wall in search of your sister. But along the way you meet new characters, you meet friends and foes, and then throughout the city you get to choose who you want to help. You can help the civilians, or you can help the peacekeepers, and of course you have, bad guys all throughout it. But on top of all of that, the city is completely packed full of very hungry and very aggressive zombies. Now, my personal opinion, Dying Light 1 and Dying Light 2 have such an amazing story that it had me hooked from the very beginning. It just, overall, it had great characters, great protagonists, and of course, just overall, throughout the entire game from start to finish, had a very interesting and very gut-wrenching story, and I highly recommend it. Now let's talk a little bit about gameplay. So the best way that I could honestly describe Dying Light 2, it's kind of like a cross between Dead Island and Assassin's Creed. That's honestly the best way I could describe it. Essentially, throughout the game, you can basically go anywhere you want to go. You can climb up of huge buildings, you can paraglide off of them, you can go inside places that are abandoned to search for essentially goodies that you can sell, and of course all throughout the city there are different characters that you can come across that will give you quests about collecting certain items or certain herbs, or you're trying to find a missing person, or you are basically tasked to go on a suicide mission that no one else can do, but Aiden, as being the hero of the game, gets tasked with insane missions. Now, I personally love the open world aspect of Dying Light. The fact that you can literally just run around and just beat the holy crap out of zombies. You can stumble upon secrets and things. You can stumble upon other characters. There's other little random events that you can run into where there could be some bandits that are stationed somewhere guarding something or have some loot. You take out the bandits and you can collect the loot for yourself. There are other places that are basically quarantine zones that you can go into that are extremely dangerous, and I'll get to why they're so dangerous in just a moment. But just overall, depending on who you side with, you get different aspects from different things that you can use to help you in the environment. Me personally, I always sided with the civilian part of it, just because I don't believe in some government basically controlling everything, and that is what the peacekeepers basically are, is trying to reestablish a government presence throughout this post-apocalyptic zombie world. Now, overall, the game is absolutely amazing. There's so many things you can do. The parkouring is absolutely amazing and is so much fun, especially climbing on top of these huge buildings and, taking the time to do it, and then getting to the top and being able to look down, on top of this huge building and, feeling satisfied that you actually climbed that. And if you play Dying Light, sometimes it can be a little fidgety sometimes about climbing things. So, as I'm sure you guys have, I have fallen to my death plenty of times. Now let's talk about what kind of threats you have to deal with throughout the game. Alright, so As I said before, you are inside of basically a post-apocalyptic world that is filled with zombies. And of course, zombies can be a huge threat, especially in numbers. Now, Dying Light zombies can cluster together and can be a huge nuisance to you. But if you know what you're doing and you know how to utilize your parkour skills and your combat skills, you can make quick work of whatever threat is in front of you. Now, on top of there being zombies, there are other enemies that you have to fight. I'm not going to give many spoilers out here because if you haven't played Dying Light, you deserve to play Dying Light 2, or if you have not played the first or second one. And just FYI, Dying Light 3 The Beast is coming out very soon. Anyways, back to what I was saying, is throughout the city there are zombies everywhere. And of course you have other enemies you have to fight. Now, there are more deadlier versions of zombies. I'm not going to talk about all of them, I'm just going to talk about the ones that I find to be the most common and the ones that can be more of a huge threat and also a nuisance. Now, you have zombies, but then you have virals. Virals are basically 28 days later zombies that are extremely quick. They can run at you, they can jump at you, and they will swarm you very quickly, and they can be quite deadly in numbers. Now, if you have a decent weapon, or you're like me, before I even got to the end of the game, I was so overpowered from collecting all of the things that I need. FYI, if you want to get very strong in the game, make sure that you're collecting all the inhibitors, because that will boost up your stamina and your combat to unlock different abilities to make you extremely strong. And of course, you can craft amazing weapons, which we will get to that shortly. But the real threat is at nightfall. When nightfall happens in Dying Light, all zombies become extremely aggressive and a lot stronger, so do virals. But what comes after virals are the biggest threat throughout Dying Light, and that is volatiles. Volatiles are basically zombies on crack, and they are extremely fast, extremely strong, and they can run faster than you can, and they will ensue you in chases. And let me tell you, when nighttime comes and you get into a huge chase and fight with a bunch of virals and volatiles, it can be one of the greatest experiences you could have in a game. It's very intense, it's fun, it tests your skills, but also trying to fight them at the same time of running for your life. Me personally, I think Nightfall in Dying Light is probably one, if not the funnest part of the game. But be wary, it's not just at nightfall. If you go into an area that is a dark area, there will be virals and there will be volatiles inside guarding certain areas. There are train stations that you can go into, there are apartments, there are like stores that are all hives, essentially dark zones, and throughout each one of them there will be a huge amount of enemies inside. But if you go during nighttime into these locations, the volatiles will be gone. Just overall, the amount of enemies and zombies you get to fight in this game is absolutely amazing. Now, I'm not going to touch much on the whole weapon and crafting thing, but I will say that if you take your time, you go through and you collect the resources and you do a lot of the quests and things like that, and we'll just say that you can find some amazing weapons throughout the world of Dying Light. Just FYI, take your time, look, make sure you collect your inhibitors, make sure that you are collecting everything, and do as many quests as you possibly can, because it can be rewarding. Also, make sure that you go into dark zones, because in those dark zones you can find some very, very vital resources that you can use, but also you can sell to make money that you can buy and sell from traders. With all that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys are liking this series. I know that I'm still new at YouTube and learning and growing, but I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe and share my videos around and help me out. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. This has been Epic Gamer. I'm out.